Hey, everybody. All Things Baseball podcast. Here we are. It's the Fall Classic. You hate them, you love them. The Dodgers, the Yankees. That's what we're getting into
That's right.
today. It is going to be classic. We're going to go over everything.
Let's do this. The Fall Classic.
All right. So, Fall Classic.
Yep.
Yankees, Dodgers. They've done this 11 times, which is more than any two teams have ever played in the World Series. The World Series has gone on since 1903.
1903. I was just about to say.
Sure you were. But that's all right. 1903. So that's how many? 21? That's my math.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty good math. So, 121 World Series. The Yankees have won 8. The Dodgers have won 3 of those 11 matchups. This is the 12th. And as we were saying in the intro, like the reason why people will watch is not just because they love a team. It's because
you hate them, you love them.
You hate them, you love them. I mean, there's not a team in sports that's probably more hated than the Yankees, right? I mean, just in terms of like, oh, not the Yankees again.
Yes.
You know,
or the Dodgers. Same way with the Dodgers.
Same way with the Dodgers. So I think that's one of the appeals. Mm-hmm. And you have, like we talked about, this World Series has so much. It's got probably the 4 best players in baseball.
2 MVPs.
You know, Bobby Witt Jr. is probably in that top 4, but you got 2 MVPs, Soto and Mookie Betts, who in any other seasons would probably be MVPs this year.
For sure.
Maybe not Mookie, but he's been an MVP.
Yes.
So you've got those guys going for you. You've got the history of this, some of the best iconic moments in the history of the World Series. I mean, you've got Don Larson's perfect game in 1956. You know, you've got this World Series where Billy Martin in 1953, my dad told me about this, and I saw it. You can see it in YouTube. Bases loaded, Jackie Robinson's up to the plate, and it's a key moment. He hits a sky-high pop-up, 2 outs, so there's no infield fly rule, and it's right next to the pitcher, but he doesn't move. He can't find it, and Billy Martin was playing back deep with 2 outs. He comes, and the wind's blowing it in, and he comes racing in and makes a shoot-top catch. And remember, 2 outs, they're running on the pitch. It was 3-2. Yeah. It was like everything going on. He makes that catch, and they go on to win the World Series. They won that game in the World Series. So a very iconic moment. Sandy Koufax struck out 15 in 63. They swept the Yankees in 63. So for you Dodgers fans, that's a huge moment. Don Larson and Sandy Koufax, they gave up, and then whoever else pitched the third game, Johnny Padres, I think it was Johnny Padres. I read that earlier. They only gave up 4 runs in that World Series. So 1981 was the last World Series.
And Dodgers won that one, correct?
The Dodgers won that one. So you've got all these classic World Series, all these iconic moments. Reggie Jackson hitting 3 home runs in 1977 to be the MVP and win that last game, the Game 6 in 77. 78, the Yankees won in a classic series as well. That was incredible. And the Dodgers won in 81. That was Fernando Valenzuela's, I think it was rookie year, his MVP or his Cy Young year.
Yeah.
So, and that was the strike-shortened season as well, which was a little strange.
Right.
But anyway, we wanted to give everybody just a little bit of flavor. Like, you got to remember the Dodgers, they left Brooklyn after the 1957 season.
Right.
They beat the Yankees in 55, lost to the World Series in 56. And 57, I don't know who was in the World Series, but no, the Yankees were. But they moved to Los Angeles and started a whole new, West Coast baseball.
So, I mean, if you had to put like an estimation on it, how many of those fans carried over to LA, with their fan base? There's got to be loyalty there.
There was a gap from when the Dodgers left after 57 and when the Mets started in 62. So I think there was a lot of fans in Queens and Brooklyn, from what my family would tell me, is like they were very angry with the Dodgers for moving. So some of them Nobody went to be a Giants fan. If you were a Giants fan, you stayed a Giants fan. If you were a Dodgers fan, you were in limbo for a little while. You might have kept rooting for them in Los Angeles, but you were pretty angry that you lost your bums. That's what they call them, dem bums. The lovable bums, but they were dem bums. So that's important to know. The history in New York, for people who maybe not as familiar, it's a little complex. Some people probably kept, rooting for them for sure. A lot of people were hanging on by a thread until the Mets came around, and the Mets were horrible. But a lot of people put their allegiance into the Mets, just to give you some clarity on your question.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, again, a couple other iconic things before we move on. Al Gianfrido made one of the most memorable catches in 1947 on Joe DiMaggio, a blast way out to left center, like 430 feet, and he made a catch like right at the fence with his left hand, or his right hand. He was a lefty thrower. Catching it would have changed the whole course of the World Series.
Wow. Yeah.
So Al Gianfrido, I had to remember how to pronounce that because I am Italian. But anyway, so classic games, classic teams. Wanted to give a perspective on that, but really we're here to talk about this one.
2024.
So these teams better than me, right? What are the storylines here? What are the bullet points?
So right now, your current MVPs in the race, Ohtani and Judge.
Right.
They've been underperforming in the postseason.
Right. That's a storyline.
And are they going to step up? Who's going to be the dark horses that kind of take over? Stanton's been hot.
Right.
Betts, Teoscar Hernandez has been playing really well.
Yeah, he's my dark horse. Just to tell you that. When you look at the storyline for the Yankees in terms of hitting, it's really the top four guys. Like you think about the Yankees lineup, I think if they get some production like they have been getting from Verdugo and Rizzo and the other guys, that's great.
I think Jazz will be my dark horse. I think he could step up. He's flashy. He's the super utility guy. He's been getting better at third, but we've noticed that they've rotated guys around a little bit more than usual. Glaber's definitely been stepping up.
Well, he's in the top four that I was saying.
Right.
So the top four, Glaber leads off. Then you got Soto. Then you got Soto. Then you got Judge, and then you've got Stanton. Right. So those guys have really carried them while getting some decent production from the rest of the lineup. But the Dodgers lineup is just deeper, right? I mean, they even during the regular season in their one series that they played each other, intra league, whatever, they beat the Yankees 2-1, but they smoked them in one of the games, like 11-3, I think. And so that's what they did to the Mets. That's what they've done all year. Yeah. They just pound the ball.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, so they're deeper.
And they get the pitching backed up behind them. You've seen a lot of good outings from Yamamoto. He's back healthy. He's pitching again, and he's looked pretty strong his last couple outings in the postseason. This is his kind of first taste of Major League playoffs. Mm-hmm. He's been solid. Kopech, he looked solid yesterday against the Mets.
Was he a starter or reliever?
He's been relieving, but yesterday he started, and he looked pretty good.
I think they're going to go with the three starters. I think what you're going to see is three starters for the Yankees, three starters for the Dodgers. I think you're going to see Cole, Rodon, and Schmidt, and then I think you're going to see Yamamoto, Buehler, and Flaherty.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see only three starters unless somebody gets knocked out, and then maybe they'll switch it up.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see, Cole go game 1 and 4, Yamamoto go game 1 and 4. I mean, I think you can see a classic matchup of three top flight starters on each team. Definitely. That's what I think you're going to see.
Definitely.
You agree?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So starters, I would give the edge to the Yankees. I think Flaherty had a really good start and a really bad start. Mm-hmm. His postseason ERA was like over 6, maybe I saw. In one game it was 10. So he's either his velocity's down, they're saying, and I think that he's a wild card. I think Yamamoto will be solid. I think that will be a classic, tight game. Mm-hmm. I think the Buehler he walks a lot of guys.
I was gonna say he's a little up and down, but when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, he certainly has the stuff.
Yes.
In terms of just absolute nasty stuff, This is really a classic
Yeah.
matchup. So I'm going to tell you that I think the Yankees have a slight edge in starting pitching. I think the Dodgers have an edge in
Above
hitting.
average, yeah.
But yeah, they have an edge in hitting. Defensively, I think they're pretty even.
Yes. I would
Right?
say they're
You
pretty
got some
even.
Gold Glovers in there and some just good good defense. And I think the Dodgers run more. They've stole 48 more bases than the Yankees. So I think that they're gonna
try to take the extra bags against Wells and Trevino.
do that. But going back to what I said about walks. Now, if here's a prediction. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever walks per 9 innings less will win the World Series.
Okay.
So when we finish all this, if the Dodgers per 9 innings walk more than 4 batters, they're in trouble because Soto and Judge walk at a historic clip. Ohtani walks a lot too, but the Yankees have those two back to back, and then Stanton is tough to pitch to. So if the Dodgers walk more than 4 each game on average, that's just too many free passes. So which means someone's going to get a 2 or 3 run homer.
Yep.
And that changes the course of a game. So I think walks are going to be a key. The Dodgers can keep those down and obviously get those big hitters out, or if they just do damage, when there's nobody on base. That's my key. What is your key? Like, what do you think is like a stat or a key that is maybe overlooked?
Errors. I think the errors, it's going to come down to making the routine plays. Things get a lot tighter. Guys, tighten up when they need to make the play. You've seen it a few times, Glaber, for sure. At second,
Okay.
you knew it.
Smart. Yeah, you're right.
Max Muncy for the Dodgers, first base and third.
You're right on that.
Kind of iffy. Freddie Freeman's playing with an ACL sprain.
Is he?
He is. And
I didn't know. Okay.
He's gonna get some rest time. They start on the 24th or the 25th this week. They get a few days off.
Right.
But he'll have a little bit of time, but that's a quick turnaround. And we're gonna have to look into that if it's a high ankle sprain. But I do remember them saying he's got an ankle sprain, and that plays into
ankle or ACL.
Ankle. Yes.
Okay. You said ACL.
Did I say ACL?
You did.
Okay, I apologize. Yeah.
You don't have to apologize to me. You have to apologize to Freddie, not to me. I don't care.
I'm sorry, Freddie Freeman.
So do we think that he'll be able to perform? Did he do well?
He's a Gold Glove first baseman.
Right. But he loses range now.
You do lose a little range. You need to stretch with your ankles, and he is a world-class picker, and he's able to make a lot of really hard stretches to snap.
So you're really thinking, while I'm thinking walks, you're thinking defense is going to maybe make a big difference in the series.
Make or break games. Yes, for sure.
You know what? That makes sense because this is going to. I think this is going to go in 7. I think these games are going to be tight. I think it's going to be one of the classic World Series of all time with some of the most iconic players.
Yeah.
That will. You have at least 4 surefire Hall of Famers.
Yes.
That are in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And maybe more. So
more to be said for these guys. Yeah.
Garrett Cole is to me, he's on pace for it.
Yes.
Judge, Betts, Ohtani, Soto, is again, some of these guys are young. They have to keep doing it. But so anyway, 4 or 5, maybe more. By the way, go ahead.
So Luke Weaver, I think when he gets his rest, he's been the most dominant closer in playoff baseball right now, I would say. Aside from Blake Trinan. Blake Trinan's been great for the Dodgers, but Weaver, when he's on,
he was on a roll there for a while, but then he
had very limited rest against the Guardians.
I agree. So, I think he's a gamer. I think he's going to be good. I would still think the relievers. I think the bullpens are even. I think they both have good bullpens, and the Yankees, their ERA in the postseason has been good. I think it's been like around 3. Maybe a little bit more, but it's been solid. Yeah. It's been solid, but not the Dodgers has not been. The starting hasn't been great, but their relievers have been good. But I think that Yamamoto. I think Yamamoto and Bueller will be okay. I think Flaherty, they're gonna hit him. I think the Yankees are
Yeah.
going to hit him. I think he's a good pitcher, but his velocity's down, and I think that plays into the if he hangs some
Yeah.
breaking balls and some off speed pitches, they're in trouble.
Who do you think on our side? Do you think the Dodgers are really just going to tee off on? Like, I think Cole's gonna keep us in good shape with the first game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to dominate.
No,
Not
I
that
don't think he's
lineup.
going to dominate.
Not that
But
lineup.
when you go to Rodon and Schmidt, what night?
I'm
Because
more worried about Rodon getting lit up than Schmidt, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But because Rodon is like he's either dominant or or he throws it down the middle, and so that'll be interesting. I think the Dodgers get one of those three pitchers for like big runs and knock them out after like 3 innings. I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Cole. I think it's going to be Rodon.
they
But
really
one of
haven't-
those three, the Dodgers are going to explode at some
yeah,
point.
and they really haven't let Rodon go past 4.2 into the fifth inning.
Right,
They
because he
kinda-
throws so many pitches.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Because he walks a few guys and he can give up some hits. So,
Base running?
I'd like to see Volpe steal some bags.
Mhm.
We're kind of outnumbered on that one.
Who's the better catcher from their catchers?
Well, Otani's going to
Smith
steal
or-
bags, just to go back to that
Okay.
point. Otani's going to steal bags. Betts can steal bags. Pages can steal bags. Andy Pages.
About Kiki?
Kike?
Kiki?
Kiki?
Kike?
It looks like Kiki. I'm sure he prefers that. I'm not really sure.
Oh, we'll call him after
Kike,
this.
Enrique Hernandez.
Enrique.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's fast, yeah, and he's been lights out for the Dodgers right now.
What about the utility guy, super guy, Edmund?
Tommy Edman picked him up from the Cardinals.
Is he starting for them at short?
He is, and I think he had a home run yesterday against the
He
Mets.
did.
Yeah.
Well, he's hitting 343, I think, in the postseason. I think he's been their hero offensively.
You said unsung here. I like that term you mentioned earlier.
Unsung hero.
Unsung.
Yeah, yeah. He's definitely been it. I think for me, Edmund 341. He had 12 RBI in the postseason.
Yeah.
I think Enrique is a possible unsung hero. Teoscar dominated the Yankees in their matchup in the regular season, so he got somebody to watch out for. I think Verdugo will surprise some people.
I hope so.
I think he can handle Flaherty, and I think that he has something to prove. He likes playing for the Yankees, and he did not have a good season, but he's had a decent postseason. Not a great one, but a decent one. And he plays really good defense. And he can run a little bit. So I like those. I worry about Rizzo. I worry about, some of the guys in the lineup getting lost. Wells has done okay. He had a home run late, but he hasn't hit great. Defensively, he's gotten better throughout the whole year.
Yeah. What about,
go ahead.
What about Rizzo?
He's got no power anymore.
Yeah.
When was the last time Rizzo hit a home run?
It's been a while. Yeah.
So, and he hasn't been great defensively. That's a problem.
Definitely.
He's made some errors. That's been a problem. And I don't know if the fingers are bottom. He had fractured fingers, whatever. But I can tell you this. If you look at just the starters and you look at the top players in each lineup, you know that there's going to be some excitement. Like, this is going to be an exciting World Series. Guys can steal. It's going to be home runs galore. There's going to be some games that, someone's going to blow out somebody.
Yeah.
But I think most of the games will be tight.
I think so. Yeah. We may get a couple blowouts, but I don't see them being like 10-2, 10-1. I think it's going to be like a 7-3 blowout.
Right.
So, yeah,
And who do you think around the world people are going to be rooting for? This is a World Series. This is the funny thing about calling it the World Series that I think the rest of the world kind of gets a kick out of.
Yeah, I know we have family and we got a lot of friends that be rooting for the Yankees, but we got friends who also hate us. They hate the Yankees.
And you guys have family on the West Coast. Some like the Dodgers, most like the Giants.
Giants, right?
But we know we got some
and Padres too.
Yeah, we got some family that really like the Dodgers. So I think there's that. But like around the world, like, do you think people care? Like, who are they rooting for in the DR, Dominican Republic? Who are they rooting for in Venezuela? Who's the most famous Venezuelan player right now in the putting you on the spot. I want an answer. Who's the most famous Venezuelan player right now in the major leagues? Who would you say?
Acuna. He's
Okay.
he's Venezuelan, right?
I don't know. Let's look him up real quick.
Look him
Keep
up.
talking. Talk to the people.
No, I think that representation of the culture right now in this fall classic, I think it's really great to see. Representation from the Dominican Republic.
Yes, you were right, John Mancini. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Anyway, the reason I say it is and I just cut you off so you can smack me later. But just to that point, you've got people from all around the world that are going to be tuning into this
And
World
in the
Series.
game, like I was saying, you got a lot of representation from both teams. Japan,
Right.
Yamamoto, Otani,
Right.
Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
Soto, and I mean there's a good bit more.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just it's so awesome to see how the game has traveled to all walks of life.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
we get to watch a lot of great ball players. I think that's just the most exciting part from an outsider looking in, and we'd love to know too. Why are you watching the one of the greatest matchups?
Yeah, please write into us. We had a nice comment on one of the previous podcasts that we did with our baseball expert, Matthew Carter. And a guy from Chicago asked about, questions about like, did the Cincinnati Reds, he was from Cincinnati. Pardon me, not from Chicago, Cincinnati. He wanted to know, like, did the Cincinnati Reds players know the fix was in? Like, did they have any idea? He had a lot of good questions, and so we're going to go back and and answer these questions. I sent a note. I'll ask Matthew to send a note, but we would love to hear some input on this World Series and get something interactive going, because it starts on Friday, right? I didn't realize they were going to start so they were going to wait 4 or 5 days.
Time. Yeah,
starts on Friday, and then 2 in LA, then 3 in New York,
right,
and then 2 back in LA if they need it.
Right.
So it's going to be, we're going to obviously, check in even in the next podcast isn't about the World Series, unless it's like some iconic game we have to talk about. We'll definitely mention it and we'll talk about it, because this is the time of year where nothing's in baseball, major leagues anyways, nothing's more important than the best 2 teams playing and duking out for the title.
Yeah. So who do you think steps up a little bit more? I know we kind of touched upon Otani and Judge. They're going to be MVP this year for their respected leagues, but who's going to step up more for their teams when it comes time to be the game-winning hit, or I can't say game-winning play because Otani's a DH right now, but I mean, who's going to step up more?
Well, I mean, I think Stanton. I think he is on a roll. He's seeing the ball well. He's getting pitches. He gets pitches because, there's guys on base, and because the other guys, they walk them.
So it might not be Otani or Judge. It could be one of the dark horses.
Yeah, well, and Soto was really good in the Guardians series. Soto is on a roll.
Yeah.
Judge hasn't been on a roll, but I think he'll do better, especially against Flaherty, and maybe I don't know. He had a home run against Buehler the last time they faced him, I believe.
So 2 guys that come to mind, one with playoff experience and one who dominated the season as a rookie, who most likely will not be pitching this World Series. Luis Gil from the Yankees,
right,
and Clayton Kershaw from the Dodgers.
Right.
Kershaw has been out with injury all year. He was looking to make some starts, and I just don't think it ever came time around for him to hop back in the rotation. I know he's getting older, and it might be time for him to retire soon. But Luis Gil, what can you say about him?
I think they're going to put him in the pen for long relief. So if one of the starters gets bombed early, and just doesn't have it, they're going to have to go to someone long relief. I think it's going to be him.
And somewhere along the line, he was a little too shaky, right?
Yeah, well, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's going to have those moments where it's a long season. A lot of these guys, especially the rookies, they haven't pitched 150 innings or 200 innings. They're all coming from if they came from college or they came from the minor leagues. I mean, they're all pitching 100 innings, 110 innings, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's a longer season, and the grind gets to you. And that's why like guys like Garrett Cole, they're such pros. They have a routine. They don't steer from it. They
Mm-hmm.
don't go out and, Garrett's married and kids, but the younger guys, maybe they go out and they try to have a little bit of fun. I don't know, but I do know that the younger guys have a really hard time this time of year
Yeah.
because they're just so exhausted.
Yeah.
So watch for that for sure for some of the younger pitchers. But I would say, just in wrapping this thing up, I think this is going to go 7. I'll let you talk in a second.
Okay.
This is going to go 7. I think the Yankees will win 4-3. I think it's going to be some classic moments that we're going to be talking about for years. I think Ohtani and Judge will definitely have their moments, but they'll be an unsung hero, someone other than Ohtani, Judge, Soto, and Betts. I think those 4 everybody's expecting to be great. I think they're going to get pitched around a lot and make somebody else step up.
Probably going to see like Will Smith, Kike from the Dodgers step up, Tommy Edman. You're going to see probably Volpe. I mean, he cracked a few singles yesterday, I think.
Well, the fact that he's hitting the ball the other way and not trying to pull everything and reach
we've talked
is
about
key.
That all year.
Is key. Right? So, and by the way, his story is great. Grew up a Yankees fan. By the way, he played. That's the last. By the way. Anyway, so he played in New Jersey against my alma mater, Bergen Catholic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So nobody cares about that except me. But he did, and now he's in the World Series. This was his favorite team growing up, is what I meant to say. It's really late, so I had a hard time saying all that, but I got it out, and that's how I want to finish. How about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it goes to 5. I'm going Yankees for 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we'll get it done early. I think
when you say we, are you on the payroll or are you just a fan?
I'm hoping for a 1-day contract so I can get a ring.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on my call. No, I think if we can take 1 from the Dodgers the first 2 games, I think we should take the rest at home.
Yeah.
I'd say there's no other atmosphere like Yankee Stadium in playoff baseball time. It's electric.
So do we take game 1 or game 2 if we're the first 2 games?
So we're probably going to see
Yamamoto versus
first game. Yeah. I don't think we take that game. I think we got the second game.
You do?
Which would be
Rodon Buehler.
Yeah.
No. I bet Flaherty goes 2. I bet he goes 2.
I think we got a good shot. We got to limit the walks, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just make our plays, and I say our. I think if they just make plays, I think we'll be in good shape and get timely hits. And, and back home, I think we'll take care of business.
All right.
So
well, that's it.
Yeah.
So we're going Yankees. What a surprise! But I will tell you that there'll be many, many people going for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the favorite in Vegas with a plus 115, 135. I have minus 135. See, I don't know what any of that means.
It's got to be minus.
All I know
plus is underdog, minus favored.
There you go. So it shows you how much I know. Vegas wants the Dodgers. All the money's on the Dodgers. I would say, I don't know how they come up with their formulas, but it's going to be a classic either way. Stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
That's right.
We like it when you smash it because then we get more in the algorithm, and then people come and follow us. But like it and then add some. All right, I got nothing else. That's all I have.
This is episode 15, the Fall Classic. Thanks for tuning in.